Relaxation is a skill and it can be learned.
You won't know.
Relaxation. What is it? Today I'm going to introduce to you what relaxation could be for you and how to harness it for your own benefit. We tend to take relaxation for granted and just assume that we are relaxed when we're not doing something intently or when our body is in a state of rest, lying on the beach in a hammock, for instance. But that needn't be the case. We can view relaxation as a skill that we can learn and then apply to any situation in our lives where we wish. The word relax is a verb, hence is a doing word that infers taking some action in itself. Relaxation is not just something we're doing when we're not doing something else. Relaxation is its own specific action. Relaxation is a specific action we can take to relax the muscles in our body, lower our heart rate, and calm our nerves. And being relaxed is not just a posture. We might usually associate lying down or being seated with relaxation, but there are many ways of lying down that cause tension in parts of the body, and many lounges that are just not ergonomically safe. We can be relaxed standing up just as much as we can be lying down or sitting. After we are relaxed, we are refreshed and ready for new experiences. Old tensions have been cast off and we're ready to go into the world anew. Whenever you go into a potentially stressful situation, you want to be relaxed, whether this is a job interview, waiting in a long queue, or taking an exam. Being relaxed is the desired state of mind. In the job interview, your mind will be clear and you will answer questions succinctly. In the long queue, you will not get impatient and cause yourself undue stress. And in the exam, you will read the questions properly and better remember your answers. We all want to be the cool, calm, collected person. We don't really want to be the anxious, fidgety, uncertain person, do we? The title of this presentation is Relaxation is a Skill and it can be learnt, because, yes, relaxation is a skill and it can be learnt. The people that you know who appear relaxed, doing things that make you freak out with anxiety, do so because of practice. They have learnt, through some process, to relax, or at least appear relaxed in that situation. The process that we're referring to here is conditioning. The dictionary definition of conditioning is a simple form of learning involving the formation, strengthening, or weakening of an association between a stimulus and a response. We've known about conditioning for a long time. Have you heard of Pavlov's dog? Well, this was an experiment carried out by a Russian researcher called Pavlov in the early 20th century. Each day he presented the dog with food and observed that it would cause it to salivate, ready to eat. Salivation, as you know, is when your mouth starts to water in anticipation of eating something yummy. Pavlov then began to sound a bell each time he fed the dog. He did this consistently and repeatedly many times until one day he sounded the bell and did not feed the dog. Despite there being no food, the dog still salivated. The stimulus, the bell, resulted in a response, the salivation, even though no food was presented. This is how conditioning works. The stimulus is used to elicit a response by associating it with another stimulus. And once conditioning is complete, the response becomes involuntary, and in this case, the dog cannot stop itself from salivating when hearing the bell. The reason I bring up this experiment that was carried out over 100 years ago is to impress upon you that we've known about conditioning for a long time. Studies in this era led to the foundation of a new school of psychology called behaviorism. And one characteristic of behaviorism is that it attempts to study human behavior using observable phenomena only, which rules out thought, because thought cannot be observed. I cannot observe what you are thinking. In keeping with behaviorist principles, a person observing conditioned behavior does not need to know what the subject is thinking. Everything that is required to be known can be observed. The bell rings, and the observer can see that the dog salivates even though no food is present. This makes conditioning highly evidential. We can see, hear, taste, or feel the results, and we're not dependent on someone with expertise informing us that it works. You can see for yourself. In a more complex manner than Pavlov's experiments, when we learn a musical instrument, such as piano or guitar, or learn a sport, we undergo conditioning. The initial stimulus is usually the instruction given on how to do the task, and then we usually repeat the same exercise over and over until we can do it without the instruction. In this case, we use muscle memory to condition our fingers and our body to carry out very particular actions. Once we are fully conditioned, there is no instruction or thought process involved. In fact, any thought process actually interferes with the action. And we all know what it feels like to be too busy thinking about what we are doing that we can't actually do it. Only with practice can we eliminate the thinking and condition our body to do the activity unconsciously. Conditioning only occurs after repeated application. Practice makes perfect. I'm sure that your music teacher would agree with that. So how can we apply this to relaxation? The methods of self-relaxation are widely known and usually involve closing the eyes while focusing on breathing and relaxing each part of the body one by one, starting with the head and ending with the feet, or vice versa. Do an internet search on relaxation exercises and you'll find a vast number of different kinds of exercises based on the same principles of breathing and muscle relaxation. Many yoga classes include a relaxation exercise at the beginning or the end, and I've got a follow-up presentation where I cover this in more depth. Relaxation exercises have been used for many millennia in different settings such as religious observance, to help people overcome personal problems, or to improve performance. And usually they are done while lying down, usually on the back in a quiet room and with a facilitator taking you through the steps. However, we can do exercises sitting down and standing up as well, and we can ditch the facilitator and learn how to do the exercises ourselves. I cover this in more detail in other presentations. Please look for a link in the description below. Now let's go back to the examples that we used before, the job interview, the queue, and the exam. For the job interview and exam, you can practice relaxation because you are usually asked to wait, usually sitting down prior to the interview or exam. And during that time, you can shut your eyes and quietly do self-relaxation. Then you can walk into the interview or start the exam refreshed. While waiting in a long queue, rather than get impatient, you can do relaxation exercises standing up. Now, shutting your eyes may cause you to lose your place, so you do them with your eyes open. Same principle, focus on breathing and allow your muscles to relax. Each time you apply self-relaxation to a stressful situation, your level of stress should diminish and your confidence and mastery of the situation should increase. The more you practice relaxation while waiting for a job interview, the more relaxed you will be at each job interview. The more you practice relaxation prior to taking an exam, the more relaxed you will be in each exam. And the more you practice relaxation while waiting in a queue, the more relaxed you will be each time waiting in a queue. In each of these situations, you condition yourself to relax in response to the situation. Here is another example. You've probably heard of the famous golfer Tiger Woods. It is widely known that his father frequently attempted to distract him during practice golf swings while he was a child in order to help the budding golfer condition himself to focus, irrespective of distractions. For instance, he would intentionally drop the golf bag or jingle coins and make noise during Tiger's backswing. Tiger would then have to execute an accurate delivery with the sound of this distraction echoing in his mind. After several years of strenuous conditioning, Tiger no longer saw or heard these distractions, and it helped cement his relentless concentration and winning power. By practicing relaxation in stressful situations, we can condition ourselves to be cool, calm, and collected in these situations, and succeed where we previously might have failed. In my own experience, I identified the benefits of relaxation early on, and saw it as the foundation for improving myself. Once I'd learned the basic technique, I would practice it anywhere, including job interviews, waiting in queues, but also as socialising, performing on stage, dealing with unruly children, and many other situations. I also used it to deal with the intense pain and stress that occurs on a regular basis to anyone who has a deep-seated emotional disorder, and I'll go into this in more detail in later presentations. Having mastered the skill of relaxation, I can now regularly do many things that previously caused huge stress, such as perform on stage. And I maintain that relaxation is fundamental to overcoming ingrained emotional discomfort and disorder. To recap, the ability to remain calm, cool and collected in a wide variety of situations can be achieved by practicing relaxation in those situations until you condition yourself to be relaxed. Through practice, you can become more relaxed at job interviews, when sitting exams, waiting in a long queue, or any number of other situations that potentially cause you stress. The key to overcoming many of our worst kinds of psychological discomfort and disorder may have a quite simple basis. We should all be learning how to relax better and in more kinds of situations. We should be teaching ourselves how to relax and promoting relaxation as a skill. Relaxation is a skill and it can be learnt. Thank you for watching.
You won't even feel a thing. You won't even feel a thing as you go. You